Hey, orchid loving friends, it's Deb. I just wanted to share a change that I've made with some of my orchids, my Phalaenopsis orchids in particular. I've been growing full water culture. I've now transitioned the majority of them over to semi water culture. I just wanted to share some of the observations that I've made along the way. And the first and most obvious one is just the roots themselves. So the look at the size of them compared to some of the older ones. So this one here is a water root. Like, okay. So this is Marlowe. She was the stem rot survivor. As soon as she, started getting better, she immediately started pushing out new roots. And then I started doing semi-water culture with her shortly thereafter. And since then, she has given me this lovely spike. It's going to have some beautiful blooms. And these incredible roots. They're just incredible in size. Incredible is the word today, apparently. So when I very first started with water culture, I had like 3 or 4 channels to follow because there wasn't a lot of people on YouTube using water culture for growing their orchids. And so that was Danielle's Orchid Ranch, that was Karina, and then the Orchid Whisperer, who has subsequently reverted her growing. And then this gentleman in Europe. And I'm going to post the link to the video. This video gave me like incredible root envy. When you see it, you will know why. It's absolutely amazing. He has 3 orchids growing together in one big vase, and the root system is, well, just go and look for yourself. He's also developed this really cool way of watering his orchids, which, leaves them completely undisturbed. It's nothing I'm going to adopt, that's for sure, but it is actually really cool what he's done. But the roots themselves, and with those channels and looking at their roots, not necessarily the Orchid Whisperer Danielle, but definitely Karina, and the I just say Kruji, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. But with those 2, semi-water culture. So I kind of dabbled with semi-water culture for a couple of them, and I gotta say, like the roots that were growing in were amazing. And so with those ones, I just always kept the water level like really, really low. So like really, really low, so that the new roots growing in, I just really wanted to observe to see how they were doing. And those ones, I would fill the water all the way back up on Saturdays. So Saturday has always been my feeding day, I suppose is what to say. So I would give them water all the way up, leave them like that for the full day, and then drop the water level back down. So what I noticed was the roots that were being exposed to the semi-water culture were doing phenomenal, right? So I took that approach, plus, watching the videos from the other growers, and I decided to just do it with a few more of my orchids. So I started doing it with, another handful, and again, having absolutely amazing roots growing in. This is the twins. Shortly after I did that with them, they pushed out a couple new spikes. And the old spikes were still in bloom. These are my 2 white phals. Look at their new roots. They are massive. Now, some might say, well, that kind of makes sense because the roots that are always in water don't need to be so big because they always have water available to them. Well, that may be the case, and that's a really good point, and that's something I definitely thought about. But I think overall, for the health of the root, the health of the plant, kind of giving them the environment that they grow in nature. They're not bog plants. So, they grow on trees. They're exposed to elements. They have wet, dry cycles. So, all of these things, plus my growing environment here in my apartment, I do have great humidity. So, what I've been doing with them is I've been doing 2 full days in water and then 5 days out. I do walk around with my little mister throughout the day, a couple times a day, and I mist all of my orchids, all of their roots. But I mean, this is what's happening with them so far. So her water level is not up yet because I have to mix up some more water. I ran out of my jug. This water does have CalMag and my 20-20-20 fertilizer in it at about, it's my mixture now. When I mix it, I don't check it every single time. It's between 50 and 75 ppm. And I just find that that's, I'm not getting any root burn. I know they're getting something out of it. They are bare roots, so the vitamins and the minerals and the nutrients are going straight into the plant. So I just have to mix up some more and fill her up. But I just thought, as I was, doing my routine, I would just share this update with you. I don't know if you've noticed in a few of my videos, my latest videos, is some of my vases have been dry. So, yeah, I think it's a great change for them. Again, I do still have a couple in full water culture, like this little girl here. If we look at these roots, you see the lines, like the rings. Every time she was in a dry cycle, she just didn't like it. It was like she just stopped. She just froze in time. And sometimes, they need a little bit of time to adjust to it, but she just never came around. So she, as we can see here, I've been leaving her in full water culture now, and her newest growth on those roots are nice and healthy, as they should be, right? So she's one of them that I have left in full water culture, just because she's happy about it. So, yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you. Anyone who had growing in full water culture and has also, made a shift to more of a semi-cycle approach, just let me know. I'd like to hear about some of your observations when you did this as well. So as always, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll talk soon.